NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsch is outside the federal courthouse in West Palm Beach, Florida. Jesse, I understand you just ran out of that courtroom for us. So let's talk about that letter first, allegedly written by the suspect months ago prior to this golf course incident. What is it revealing?
Well, Clay, and I do want to jump to something else first, because as you mentioned, we just got out of court. Prosecutors have previously been talking about allegations surrounding Routh tied to this incident, which is being referred to as an apparent assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. But the prosecutors just got far more blunt in court. I want to read to you a portion of what prosecutors said in court. A prosecutor before the judge saying, quote, "Any established ties to the Southern District of Florida is for one reason only, and that was to kill former President Trump." So prosecutors are now explicitly alleging that Routh was in West Palm Beach last weekend, 8 days ago, with the intention of assassinating former President Donald Trump. That is the accusation that has now been presented in court. Again, at this point, Routh is only facing 2 weapons charges, but prosecutors, we're told, according to what was shared in court, are planning to present evidence to a grand jury and are expecting that a charge will be the attempted assassination of former President Trump. So that is the latest information that just came out of court. More of the details that we had already heard about, including conversation around that letter you mentioned, in which Routh refers to an assassination attempt. And if you bear with me for one moment, I will pull up my notes on that, because, again, we just ran out of the courtroom. But the letter that you're referring to is something that, according to prosecutors, was found in a box that Routh allegedly gave to someone months ago. And that letter is allegedly addressed to, quote, the world, and says in it, quote, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you. I tried my best and gave it all the gumption I could muster." I do want to note that, according to what we heard in court from testimony, there has not been an official handwriting analysis confirming this to be the handwriting of Routh. I also want to point out a couple other things that the defense questioned a special agent witness on a cross-examination. The special agent said that he is not aware of footage of Routh holding the rifle that was found outside of the golf course. He also is not aware of footage of Routh at the fence line. He also is not aware of footage of Routh running across the street or footage of the suspect at the scene. So, again, you can see the beginnings of a defense trying to paint this as all circumstantial evidence. But we do know from the proffer from prosecutors today that they found what they believe to be the fingerprint of Routh on that rifle, and that was one of the pieces of evidence that the judge referenced in denying the defense's request for a release on a form of bond. The request by the government for Routh to be held in detention pre-trial has been granted by the judge.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.